The internet is not cooperating today. I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the Zoom sessions I'm having, the Zoom meets I'm having. On the 28th American time, I'm going to have a goal setting session where we as a group write 100 goals. This will be for the New Year's, but we'll be doing it on the 28th. In order to participate in these 100 goals, a Zoom session, we're doing it through Patreon. So the cost is essentially $5, and you can cancel your subscription to Patreon afterwards. So in response to requests, we're going to be running a Zoom 100 goal session for the New Year's. It's going to be on the 28th. Hello. And then we're going to be running a meditation course focusing on healing and sleep. And that's on Zoom through Patreon as well. I'll also advertise it on my Instagram and in other places. So it would be delightful if you could join me. It will be, hello, thank you. It will be run twice to allow for different time zones. I'm sending out requests at the moment on Patreon. Hello, Shelley, to ask which time zones would suit you the most. So, 2 announcements. I'm running a Zoom goals session where we sit together and create 100 goals for the new year. And we're going to do that once a year. And we're going to do a meditation course as well. So if you would like to be a part, it's only $5. $5 per month, so you'd get the course and the seminar for that. And with Patreon, you can cancel at any time, so you're not caught in or tied into that. And there'll be a lot more courses to come. We're looking at Christmas drinks and regular drop-in center as well, so that you can have face-to-face time with me directly. Thank you for listening to my recent content. Thank you for listening to my podcast on Apple. I really appreciate it. And yeah, how are you? How are you all going towards Christmas? Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you've all got family around you and all ready for Christmas. Is everyone ready for Christmas? What's everyone doing for Christmas? Are you still meditating? Are you still doing yoga? How are you going with your journaling? It's so important to journal and write down your thoughts and feelings. Family and Chinese food, Skip. Chinese food, yum. Jeffrey is sick. I'm so sorry you're sick, Jeffrey. I'm really sorry to hear that. I hope you pick up so that you can spend time. I'm hoping, Jeffrey, that you've got family to be with. And Shelley's passing on Christmas this year. You're giving it a hard pass, Shelley. It's a challenging time for so many. You're welcome, Jeffrey. It's a time where there's so much pressure to be with people that when you're without people, I think it's really tough. Yeah, I think it's really tough. I will be trying to do more lives so we can have this sort of time together. The Zoom lives, I think, work much more effectively because it's a smaller group and there's more capacity for interaction. Thank you so much, Michelle. That's really good of you. I really appreciate that. I love what I do so much, and I really love the interaction here. Hello, Elgene and Sophie. Sophie, you're having a hard time. I'm really sorry you're having a difficult time. Yeah, as I was saying, I'll be doing some Zoom sessions on Patreon. And thank you so much for your support on Patreon. As you know, that's without Patreon, we wouldn't have YouTube. I wouldn't be able to create content on YouTube. So I really appreciate you supporting me on Patreon. That makes a world of difference for me. We will be having a meditation course on Patreon, and we're also going to do a 100 goals session, which you're all invited to. Patreon starts at $5 a month and you can cancel anytime. So you are basically paying $5 for the course and the Zoom 100 goals session. And thank you so much for your support on Patreon, and thank you for subscribing to me on YouTube. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for listening to my content. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Shelley. That's a lovely thing to say to me. I really appreciate it. We're talking about Christmas and how challenging, hi Tracy, Christmas can be. Tracy's sending everyone love from Scotland. I would love to be in Scotland. I assume it's cold. It's very warm in Australia and very cold in other parts of the world, which is interesting. Tracy, I hope you have a lovely Christmas. Thank you, Sophie. I will be having a festive time. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to have some steamed vegetables, some fresh strawberries and blueberries. Hello, Diane. Thank you, Diane. I'm sorry, Kay Menzies. Thank you, Tracy. Anna. Hey, Anna. I've been writing that article that we spoke about on Instagram. I'm still editing it. It's an article on gaslighting. It's a very short article. I'd like to do more on that. So for those of you who are from Instagram, I'm doing some work on narcissism. Skip. It's about 30 degrees in Australia, I think. Oh, in Australia. In South Australia. Australia is such a huge place. It's funny, I'm getting messages about the floods. And Australia is so massive. It's so massive. It's like the size of North America. So it's a huge place. So there's all different weather all around Australia. Yeah. Here it's about 30. It's a beautiful day. I love South Australia. I love the red earth. Hey, One Jockey. I just feel strange saying One Jockey. It's just an interesting name, isn't it? And I love wasabi. Wasabi's very good for you, you know. Wow, Costa Rica. I've always wanted to go to Costa Rica, Anna. I love South America. I love travel. I'm settling for a moment in South Australia. I have a partner, Adrian, who I am in love with. We're talking about Christmas and the hustle bustle of Christmas and how Christmas contrasts a feeling of being alone. I am attempting to create more content to be inclusive and to include. Shelley? Wow, I don't even know And a Nicoya. Nicoya, is that the place? Because I'm just, being Australian, this is terrible. We're not as good at with geography. Can I say that? Is that an excuse? Because, Australia's so large and most Australians never travel. So I don't even know where Nicoya is. Suzanne. Any advice? Suzanne asks, any advice on making a big life decision? Okay, first, name the big life decision. Say what it is. Look in the mirror and say, I have a big life decision to make. This is the decision. Then remind yourself of your values and say, my values and virtues are A, B, and C. Then look into the mirror and say, the difficulties of making this decision are, and discuss the challenges. Look at the outcome you desire, and then look at a timeline, so you're being reasonable about making the decision. Put aside the desire to people please and make the decision. I always have a chronology. I always have a timeline. I always remind myself of my values. I categorize my goals under my values, and I categorize decisions in micro and macro goals. I look at when I'm going to achieve this goal, this decision, and I look at contingencies in case it goes wrong. That's it in a nutshell. We will be going through that more in the workshop on Patreon on the 28th. Okay. All right. Quarter of the way down from Costa Rica. Yeah. Wow. I love it when you talk to each other. That's really awesome. It's like I feel like I'm in a bar and you're all sitting along the bar. Kenya. I'd love to visit Kenya. Oh, giraffes. I haven't seen a giraffe since I was young and went to the zoo. I would love to see a giraffe. I'd love to see an elephant. I haven't seen an elephant since I was a child. Well, I think we should all go together overseas and go and visit giraffes. Wouldn't that be awesome? We could have a healing retreat where we go and look at giraffes and we're silent. We just take in the beauty of the giraffes and silently meditate on the majesty of a giraffe's neck. I have worked with the chronically ill, yes, Barbara. It depends on what aims you have. Giraffe road trip, yes, I do. Giraffe road trip, I can just see this now, Suzanne. Okay, so we all get together. There is an elite group of, say, 20 people, and we go to Africa, and it's called, what is it? The Giraffe Pilgrimage. And we have a silent retreat. We get beautiful, fresh produce. We meditate and focus on the beauty of the giraffe. Colorado. Thank you, Georgia. Thank you, Michael. I'm sorry, Michael, that you've got so many people have a chronic illness, don't they? Yes, I do work with chronic illness. It depends what you mean by work with. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. I'm reading this, Anna. I think we should start a giraffe club for giraffe enthusiasts. And we could have a giraffe set of commandments, a giraffe constitution. Michelle, is that correct? Suzanne, I presume you're tall. Oh, 6 foot tall woman. Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. Yes. The Giraffe Club. And we could talk about giraffe things and quotes, and we could visualize what it feels like to pat a giraffe. I could create a meditation where we imagine ourselves patting giraffes, and that we have this wise sage giraffe that can tell us the answer to any problems we have. Yeah, giraffes are always sticking their necks out for friends. This is funny. Giraffe babies. Yeah. We could start a giraffe orphanage and look after the giraffe babies while we meditate silently. Yeah. So I'm looking at Barbara now that's talking about chronic illness and depression. Yeah. I have done work with that, Barbara. I'm sorry to hear you're going through that. As I think most of you know, I'm a counsellor. I've got a master's in counselling. I've got a lot of experience as a counsellor, and I do that on Simply Book Me. So if you look up Simply Book Me in my name, you can book a session with me. Everyone's interested in the giraffes here. Okay, so we have the answer. The answer to the meaning of life is it's not 42, it's giraffe. Okay, so when you're feeling stressed, imagine stroking a giraffe. When you think about going beyond your comfort zone, think about how giraffes put their neck out for you. When you think of calming down, think of the majesty of a giraffe walking. You can imagine yourself doing a giraffe walking meditation. Thank you, Barbara. Let me know if you've got any issues with that. But I do work with clients that have chronically ill in their family and look at the transition to care and have done that personally myself. And that's as a counsellor. The website is Simply Book Me. I'm so sorry, Georgia. I've done a meditation which is on my computer now. That should be uploaded in the next 3 hours. And then today I'm recording a short story and progressive meditation. So that should be up by tomorrow morning. And I'm planning the 100 goals for New Year's Eve, which will be before New Year's Eve so that everyone is available. That's on Patreon. Please follow me on Patreon. There is so much extra content and no pressure, but the Patreon followers help support my content, make content possible. George is just writing about depression and anxiety. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shelley. It's so challenging. Skip is reassuring Georgia, and that's just lovely. Good on you, Skip. That's really lovely of you to do that. Michelle, Miss Lauren, thank you. Thank you very much. Anna, on the spectrum, yes. I'm reading your message here, Anna. Georgia's thanking Skip. Good on you, Georgia. Thank you, Skip. The long play versions I hear, Michelle. Some people love the long plays, some don't. Yeah, Barbara's saying, I love how supportive all the comments are here. I think one of the strengths of the community here, and the community really supports me, is the interaction in the comments, reaching out and supporting each other. That's so important. I look at other channels and there seems to be some negativity in some channels. I think we're really lucky here. And it's not me that's doing this. That's the community. That's you. And when you respond to someone and say something nice, you really lift their day, because so many people have terrible experiences when we're on YouTube and someone writes something nice. Oh my goodness, you're so lovely. Then it really lifts you. And likewise, when someone writes something not so nice, it can be challenging. Of course, we need to let it go, but it can be challenging. So love the comment, little grapevine we're getting here. Just beautiful. Michelle is saying, you are strong and more brave than you know. Isn't that the truth? We are capable of amazing resilience, and we are capable of coping with so much more than we think we are. Not easy, I know, and life can be incredibly difficult. We can do it. Shelley, I'm sorry you lost your German Shepherd. 4th of December, that's so recent. That's just occurred, Shelley. I'm so sorry. What a beautiful dog as well. Reading Anna. Anna, I'm sorry that you find sleep challenging. I'm reading Why, being on the spectrum. Having a very distinct ritual for hours prior to bed, which you probably know. A bath is really important part of that ritual. Sierra, thank you. Here I am. I don't think I'm very exciting live, but here I am. Michelle, it's so lovely of you to send condolences to Shelley. That's lovely of you. I feel like I'm almost watching a party. You know, I'm sitting in a chair in the corner and all of you are interacting with each other. Now, Georgia is sorry for Shelley's loss and sending prayers. And Barbara is messaging Shelley with condolences about the loss of a loved dog, soulmate dog. Virtual party, Anna. What an idea. A virtual party. Yes, Suzanne, very poetic. Your words. It's beautiful we can come together, Suzanne says, to show love and support for one another. It's so important to reach out and without judgment. I think one thing we can do at times is be perhaps a little bit too reactive with advice. And I think just to be there and listen and say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm listening. Thank you, Anna. Messaging Shelley here. Yeah. Party, party. What's that? Toga, Toga. Now, who knows that movie? Is that John Belushi? Toga, Toga from my childhood. Skip. You know that I'm weight training at the moment. I'm aiming to compete in a competition in April, if I can get there. I'm in Australia, Michelle. Yes, I am in Australia. Australia's huge. I've been traveling around Australia. I've lived in 3 states now. Erin is sending condolences to Shelley, which is, I just love this. I'm so sorry that Shelley lost her dog. I think it's lovely that everyone is sending. Animal House. Toga, Toga. Thank you, Skip. Animal House. I'm one of those rare individuals that was alive before the internet, and before mobile phones. Hey, Ricardo. Thank you, Sierra. How's my day been? My day's been pretty good. I have sadness every day about something that happened 2 years ago after my parents died. So every day I grapple with sadness, but I have a lot of joy as well. And I really enjoy this community and I really love creating content. Barbara, I'm afraid of critters too. I'm really afraid of spiders. And I bought a house for a time in Queensland and there were bird-eating spiders there. And I found out after I bought the house, I was like, holy cow, seriously? So I'm going to buy my dream house and these bird-eating spiders. There was a saltwater crocodile at the bottom of the garden and dingoes. I just loved the house, but I met a man in South Australia, which is a long way away. And the story of me driving from Queensland to Adelaide is quite a story because I thought it was physically possible to drive. And I worked out that I had to drive through cattle farms for 29 hours. So lots of funny things happened. Spiders, I'm terrified of spiders. And Queensland has a lot of spiders. Australia has a lot of huntsman spiders. I don't like huntsman spiders. A lot of snakes. What else do we have? Crocodiles. We have kangaroos. That's not really a critter, is it? The kangaroos are not necessarily friendly. Oh, I'm so sorry about losing your mother, Suzanne. This is... Oh... No cell phones. Yes, I remember the Melways. In Australia, you have what they're called the Melways, which is a map you use to... Possums, yes. Drive places. Joe says, how did I get the courage to share my thoughts and ideas with the world? I like writing. I think that personal narrative can inspire others. And also my journey through grief, which was the end of my marriage, which occurred just after my brother, or a little while after my brother took his life. My parents died in a week, and then something happened I don't share online, which has been devastating. So I just think that so many of us are suffering grief. We feel alone, and we can have a virtual community online that gives us a lot of satisfaction. Yeah, Australia has some really interesting haunted houses where someone's built a house in the bush and then left it. Mice. Yeah, when I moved to Adrian's house, there were mice. There were mice. Thank you, Barbara. That's very kind of you to say that. Thank you so much. Yes, I love the words "you're okay" because they're so mundane, they're so accessible, they're so realistic. I'm not so keen on affirmations where people go, invite abundance in your life. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I like affirmations such as, I will cope, I will be okay. More realistic affirmations. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you very much, Madison, and I'm sorry you haven't had a mother figure. Holiday anxiety. Sarah, how to cope with holiday anxiety. Make sure that you call it out, identify it, look in a mirror and say what you're feeling, own it. Place your self-care high. Do progressive muscular meditations so that you can check in on yourself. Set your boundaries, be clear on your boundaries, and know that there's an end date to that and you will be okay. I'm really shortening that. It's a lot more to it. Haven't seen for 5 years. That's an interesting one, Sierra. All the best with that. Suzanne, sit down or lie down comfortably. Got me through recovery from alcoholism. What an amazing achievement, Suzanne. Congratulations. Thank you, Joe. Tiffany, thank you for thanking Suzanne. Oh, Barbara. So my counselling booking site is called Simply Book Me. It's listed under all my videos. And then I have a Patreon, my name, Lauren Ostrowski Fenton, and we'll be running regular courses and get-togethers on Patreon. My Patreon, there is no pressure to follow me on Patreon. However, I will promote it because my patrons make content creation possible. And this is my full-time job. Jewish Queen, love your account name. Thank you. Oh, I'm so sorry you've been feeling alone in Chicago. I would love to see Chicago. I'm sorry you've been feeling alone. Oh, I'm sorry. Jewish Queen, thank you for thinking of Jeffrey. That's very good of you. Barbara, thank you so much. I really appreciate you following me on Patreon. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I hope you're getting all the emails on Patreon and they're not going to your spam or other folder. Barbara, next week I'm going to be running the 100 goals. I'll put it in 2 different timelines, so I hope one is suitable. And I'll be running a meditation course and drop-ins, and I'm planning on Christmas drinks, which will be interesting considering it's in 2 time zones. Some people will be in the morning and some people in the evening. Thank you, Barbara. Well, I might go in a moment and finish my recording that I'm doing, and I'm going to record another recording. This has been a lovely space that we've experienced today with everyone chatting with each other. We've all experienced loss, haven't we? And loss is loss. Loss is not easy. Thank you, Alan. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Madison. Thank you, Matthew. That's lovely. Ah, yes, I love accents. I love the Polish, the Russian accent because it reminds me of childhood mum speaking to me in Polish. Ah, Anna and Matthew, I love this happening here. This is awesome. Oh, I'm so sorry, Beetle Me Too. Oh. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I used to speak Polish fluently, Anna, and I lost it. Isn't that terrible? Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to finish up. I plan to do these lives regularly. I thank you for subscribing to me. I thank you for, yay, sending hugs. Sit down or lie down comfortably and we will begin. It has the same effect on me as well. Like it makes me fall asleep when I say those words, which is so interesting. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing this regularly, doing this full time. Please, if you can consider following me on Patreon, there is much more bonus content, all the vocals only. Content is on Patreon, and we will be starting Zoom meets on Patreon. Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. We have the 100 goals session next week on the 28th, and we'll be doing a meditation group a couple of days after that. It's a minimum of $5 a month on Patreon. You can cancel anytime, so no one is locked into anything. Okay, any last comments before I go and have a cup of coffee? Matthew, I love you affirming Anna. Thank you, Beetle Me Too. Oh, thank you for that. I put a lot of effort into the wording of that one, Beetle Me Too. Diane is wishing us all a beautiful, happy, Merry Christmas and a fantastic 2024. Isn't that funny, Anna? Yes, we are on opposite ends of the world. Okay, so whether it's morning for you, thank you, Sarah, I think so. Whether it is evening for you, Lydia, hello. Barbara. Diane, thank you. Wishing you all well. Coffee, yes. Well, it's midday. It's 8 minutes past 12, midday. Yeah, not quite morning. I generally only have a coffee in the morning, but it's Friday. I'm going to have a coffee now, which is quite late. Yeah. Be safe. Look after yourself. Be well, my friends. And I will speak to you again soon. Take care, my friends. Take care. Thank you to all of you who supported someone else in the in the comments. Lydia, I'm from Australia. Yes, the birds. I can't do much about them, Tiffany. I've got some bird issues because they're so loud. So if you listen to my content in Adelaide, there are birds. There are birds. There were birds in Queensland as well. Bye. Love you all. You're so lovely how you talk to each other. That's really, really special. Bye.